What's up, everybody? This is MJ. I usually talk about car stuff, but today I'm going to talk about a home repair that I did about 5 or 6 years ago. This is when I filled in a pool, an in-ground pool that was landlocked, meaning you couldn't get a dump truck behind my house because I had neighbors in the back and neighbors on the side. This is actually one of the hardest things I've ever done in life, and that's saying a lot because once I worked 8 months straight, 7 days a week with no days off, and once I beat Contra without the code, okay? Without the code. In fact, we're going to watch that first. First, we're going to watch me beat Contra. It only takes about an hour. Then we'll get to the pool repair, if that's what you came for. All right, you know what? Never mind. Let's go to the pool. So, this is the story of when I filled in the pool by hand, by myself. Here we go. This is when I got my first house. I got this house soon after I graduated college, and I got my first real job. I wanted to get a new house because in Philly, all the houses are connected together, and I felt like I was a millionaire because this house was not connected to any other houses. Okay, no other houses on the side. I got a front lawn and a back lawn, and look at that, it's a pool in the backyard. I thought I was a millionaire when I got this house. I said, I'm going to be baller status McGee with this house. It was real close to my job, so all my friends would have been able to come over and hang out after work. I was going to be the man, okay? Everybody was like, MJ, did you get the pool house? Did you get the pool house? I was like, I'm working on it. But this pool was broken, which is why I got the house so cheap. And I knew that going in, but I thought that I'd be able to fix it, because I'm a mechanic, engineer. I was like, I'll figure out how to fix this house. But soon, my dream of having a pool would be crushed beyond recognition. So sad. This is a sad day when I found out I was not going to be able to get this pool, because guess what? My mortgage company sent somebody out to inspect the house for my homeowner's insurance, and they said I needed a new roof. Now it's going to cost $7,000 freaking dollars. And I was like, oh man, $7,000, but I had to get it because they said they were going to cancel my policy if I didn't fix the roof or get a whole new roof. So I had to go ahead and do that. I had to pay somebody $7,000 to fix this roof. So that was very sad. And I was just about out of money because I just put down all this money to buy the house and to get the roof fixed. And then the estimate to fix the pool was going to be like $9,000. I said, oh man, no more pool for me. I'm going to have to realize that having $5,000 in the bank does not make you a millionaire. So here we go. I had to figure out what to do with this pool. I was not going to pay $9,000 to fix it. It would have probably cost $10,000 or $11,000 to have somebody fill it in because it is labor intensive, very difficult. So anyway, my new mission is now to fill in the pool and destroy it forever. And this pool is still destroyed. This was the new goal in life, and this is very, very difficult. And I'm going to walk through how I did it. And if you want to do some similar things, that is up to you. You might want to see if there's any type of permit you need to get. But where I live at, you don't need no stinking permits because you do whatever you want to do. Anyway, my backyard was landlocked, meaning they couldn't deliver the dirt right to the pool. So they had to put it on the driveway, and then I had to bring the dirt from the driveway to the pool. And this was a very, very difficult thing to do. I could have rented some equipment to help me. It's like 8 or 9 loads of dirt. Like, it's not like one load of dirt. There's lots of dirt that has to go into the pool. Here's one of them. And this will probably be about 25 trips with my what I did to do this job was I got a riding lawnmower and also a pull cart so I would just load the dirt into the pull cart and then drive it around the back of my house. See, there it is. Drive it around the back of the house and then unload it into the pool. But there's a lot of things you have to do first before you even get to the dirt part, because you have to get rid of all the concrete around the pool, and that is extremely difficult. And they poured this concrete thick, like it was 7, 8, 9 inches in some places, and it was really, really difficult to break up that concrete. But first, before we do that, safety first, get an electrician to disconnect the power for, the pump and the filter at your electrical panel. And just get an electrician to do it, because it's not worth getting electrocuted trying to be cheap and filling in your own pool like I was. Like, my friend is a contractor, and he was like, yeah, I'll disconnect it. But then he looked at it, he's like, never mind, I'm going to get an electrician to do it. Because you don't want to do something by accident. So even people that have been in the contracting game for a while, sometimes they will sub out work and just let somebody else do it. I mean, it might cost $100 to pay an electrician or $150, it'll probably take them 5 minutes anyway. They disconnected it, and then they put a label on it saying, do not reconnect, and then they'll relabel that relay or whatever was a circuit interrupter, and that will make the circuit that's going outside under the ground to the filter, it'll make it a dead circuit. So there's no power going to it, so you could just leave that in the ground. Well, check your local codes and everything, but you could leave it in the ground. It's not hooked up to anything, and it's been disconnected safely at the fuse panel. So that's probably the first thing. And then I had to I had to invent this thing to get the water out of the pool. Okay, so what I did was I just taped a knife to a paint pole, and then I started stabbing the pool at the bottom and the deep end, and that's the way I was able to get the water out of the pool. You could just get a transfer pump and pump it out to the street or something like that, but I decided to go low tech and just stab my pool until all the water was gone. My friend's wife was like, "Where did all the water go?" I said, "I don't know. It went into the earth." I don't know. I mean, that's where it went, and it never came back. So that's how I got all of the water out of the pool. And the water was disgusting in this pool. It was like green, and the liner was ripped. It was muddy. It was gross. So yeah, number 2, you got to rip the liner out of the pool. And you could use that knife or whatever sharp object you want to use, and just rip it out in pieces and put those pieces in some giant trash bags and take them to the dump. If you got like a fiberglass pool or something, I mean, you're just gonna have to come up with a way to destroy it. I mean, contracting and construction, half of it is demo, so just figure out a way to destroy that pool if it doesn't have a regular liner like mine did. And then like I said before, you got to destroy all the concrete, throw it into the pool. Everything else could go in the pool: the filter, the pump, the sliding board, the diving board, your mother-in-law, whoever you don't like, throw them in the pool. And then, because it's going to get covered up with dirt anyway, so so yeah, just get rid of everything, throw it into the pool. So what I used a 16-pound sledgehammer, which is bigger than a usual sledgehammer. I got a regular sledgehammer at first from Lowe's, and it was just bouncing off of my concrete. So you got to get the big boy sledgehammer, and 16 pounds ought to do it. And that's a big sledgehammer too, so you can't be playing around with that. Be careful. You might want to get a back brace or something, because my back was hurting at the end. I have a 40-ounce snap-on ball peen hammer that you use to kind of to get the concrete chunks out. I was just using that, and a 3-foot Matco pry bar. Once you start breaking them up, and you use those things to rip out the chunks, because they're still connected to rebar. So that is lots of fun. Yeah, like I said, safety glasses, gloves, back brace, because that concrete will chip up, and you don't want it getting in your eye, because that's an embarrassing way to go blind from trying to be cheap and destroy your own pool. So there you go. And yeah, well, here's the first chunk I took out. And yeah, each section might take you 2-3 hours to do. So I just kept doing a little bit at a time. Every weekend or sometimes after work, I would just be back there destroying concrete. Because if you rent a jackhammer, I mean, it's still going to take a while. I actually rented a jackhammer for the last section in the back because my back was hurting so bad. But well, it wasn't that bad. But even still, if you got to rent a jackhammer 8 different days, I mean, it was like $800. So sledgehammer is only $50. So here you go. Everything is ripped out. All of the concrete is destroyed and thrown into the pool. Its final destination. Goodbye. Goodbye, concrete. Be careful, because in the summer, bees will start to like live in the concrete. So I was in the summer trying to destroy this pool with bees all over the place. But yeah, I borrowed a plasma cutter from a friend of mine. You could buy them at Harbor Freight for about $180, because there was like that metal part at the bottom there. Yeah, that part. So I cut out all the metal pieces with the plasma cutter, and then you throw all the metal into the pool. Everybody's meeting in the pool. The sliding board, the diving board. I thought I was going to be having fun in this pool, and instead turned into one of the hardest things I've ever done. But it was worth it in the end, because I got the house super cheap because the pool was broke. But either way, pool was gone. You have to get some pea gravel delivered to your house. I don't know why I put that safety tape around. I was being paranoid. And yeah, you're going to use your riding mower and your pull cart, and you drive the pea gravel and you put it into the pool. It'll get into all those crevices from the concrete. Now you're about to start your dirt farm. It's about 8 or 9 loads, I forget. Each load and you use fill dirt from like a landscaping place. They'll deliver it right to your front, your driveway. If you got a HOA or something, they might be complaining, hey, how come there's dirt all over the place? I'll be like, I don't know. Somebody left it there. I was about to call you to come get this dirt. But no. So I didn't have a HOA. We do what we want around here. That's what we do. So I had a whole bunch of dirt there. It only takes a couple days to load it all up. About 25 loads of the pull cart for me anyway. And yeah, you just start throwing the fill dirt in over the pea gravel. And slowly but surely, you will fill it in. I have a hand tamper that I was tamping down the dirt by hand with each load. Or with each giant dirt load anyway. Once it gets high enough, you could just kind of run your lawn tractor over it, or your riding lawnmower. See, there's my tamper. And it actually started to get cold, so I let it sit over the winter. And you know, with the rain, it helps to compact it down. So there you go. It's getting all filled in. This was extremely hard thing to do, but slowly but surely you'll get it all filled in. You'll get it all filled in eventually. Now all that's fill dirt. So once you get to about here, then you want to put topsoil. You get the topsoil delivered instead of fill dirt, because topsoil's better to grow grass with. Fill dirt has, like, you know, contaminations, and well, not chemical contamination, but you know, it's like clay, and you know, sometimes there's a little bit of junk in it, but topsoil is what you need. There's my little video. This was extremely hard. So yeah, order the topsoil. The topsoil is going to cost a little bit more. I think with all the dirt and topsoil, maybe came to about, I don't know, $1,300, $1,500. Of course, now it'll be more since inflation is out of control. But that's what happens when you print up a bunch of monopoly money. Anyway, so yeah, that's the topsoil right there. Once you get it to here, I just kept running over it over and over again with the lawnmower, riding lawnmower. And now you get to become a grass farmer. The backyards in my area are a little lumpy anyway, so it didn't have to be perfect, but you can make it perfect if you want to. You probably get one of those giant cylinders with water in it and keep rolling over it till you get it perfectly level if you want. But I asked one of my friends from work, Kenny, he's a farmer, and he helped to tell me the best time of the year to plant. You want to soak the dirt, then you want to till it, you spread the grass seeds. I use Kentucky bluegrass and fescue, a little bit of fescue. I put way too much, well, not too much, but I put like 10 pounds of grass seeds. And you cover it with some hay. And then I had an automatic water device, and it would water twice a day for like 45 minutes to an hour. And so I did that for like a month or a month and a half until the seeds start to germinate. But anyway, this is when I had the house done. I replaced the siding too, and I put in a composite fence. This was right before I sold the house. And look at the miracle. Wow, oh my God, there used to be a pool there. Not anymore, because one man had the will and the courage to take on a task that would have cost $10,000 to have professionals do, and he did it for under $2,500. It might be about $3,000 now, but yeah, this job is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the slacker. But you know what? If you are a slacker, unslackify yourself immediately and buy a house with a broken pool and then fill it in just to say you did it. But no, you can make a lot of money doing that though, because nobody wanted this house. Nobody but me. And I was trying to be a fancy pants, and then I decided to be a cheapskate and fill in the pool. And I wish I never sold this house too, but when I got laid off from Cummins, I sold it. Then I got a job at Toyota. Anyway, thanks for tuning in and have a good one.